Greetings YouTube land and welcome to episode 2. So last week I said that if my little channel of Doom gets some traction that I would do another episode. Didn't get a lot of traction, but there's been some views and some subscribers, and I've been urged by friends and family to continue. Big shout out to Rob, one of my friends. He gave me some good feedback that I was able to apply to this video, and to the mighty Logan Luntman, my 10-year-old son, who helped me set up the channel and who is now officially the technical director of DoomedTV. So today we are continuing our pursuit of a Doom drone and stoner metal tones with the cheapest gear you can find, and I don't think you can find cheaper gear than this. So if you are familiar with the Squire brand that is somehow affiliated with Fender, I very much doubt that Fender has direct input into this particular masterpiece. You would know that the model starts at what is called the Bullet and then the Affinity, and then it goes from there. And they range from about $100, and I've seen some of them go up to all the way to $1,000. So this particular model I found recently, and it doesn't even have a model name on it because it actually sits below the Bullet and is marketed exclusively to students. It's got a hardwood body, maple neck, 3-coiled, single-coiled, your tone and your volume as per a regular Strat. It's a hardtail, and I found this for around $100. It translates to 1,700 South African Rand, and you've just heard what it sounds like being played through my trusty Little Bear RT2. Now the model name, there's some dispute as to how that's supposed to be pronounced. After my last video, some people told me it's not R.ATTACK because there's a dot there. It's R.ATTACK or R.ATTACK. But the R, the A, and the T is in red, and the rest is in white. So they're definitely trying to draw some alignment to the rat pedals, the Proco rat pedal. So R.ATTACK, R.ATTACK, or just the RT2. You can call it what you want. So this particular little demo that I just played you was played on one of the 3 voicings. So like I said last week, there's 3 circuits, Proco rat circuits within this box. The dirty, the vintage, and the turbo, and that particular section was played on the turbo. Now, the challenge with this guitar is, because it's so short scale, as most Strats are, you can't really tune it down very, very low. So this is tuned a full step down, so DGC FAD, and that's about as low as you can go. But then again, most of the stuff that Sabbath did, especially in the early days, was a full step down. So it's in a similar tuning to this. Below that, the strings get very, very floppy. At this point, with the I've got a 10s on here, string gauge. So I think it goes from 10 to 46. Is perfect for this guitar. Tuned down a whole step makes for very nice and easy bending without letting the strings get too floppy. Alright, so I'm going to play you a little bit more, and the verdict is absolutely yours. So again, the purpose is to allow people entry into this genre of music with as little financial outlay as possible. So it's fantastic to have all these gear demos on YouTube. Love them all to bits, support a lot of them, especially Fuzzlord and Does It Doom and Beholden to the Riff specifically. Love all the gear, wish I could have that gear. But then at the same time, not having access to that gear in South Africa, you have to sort of apply the punk ethic, the DIY ethic, and make do with what you got. And this is what I've got currently, and this is how it sounds. And I think it comes pretty close. If you consider that the guitar plus a pedal is around $150. Now, some of you might say, yeah, but you're playing through a Marshall Mode 4, that's an expensive amp. No, it's a very old amp that I bought second hand, and I will do a whole video on that amp. But I'm playing it through a clean channel, none of the filters are on, nothing is tweaked, it's absolutely as clean as possible. And I would, in future videos, I will do similar setups playing through a variety of different amps. So the lesson today, kids, is that it is not the cost of a gear that makes the doom and the drone. It is your willingness to try and to experiment with any gear that is available to you. I'm not a big Rage Against the Machine fan, neither am I a big Tom Morello fan. He's a fantastic guitarist, but he said something that really struck me. You would expect someone of his caliber to have an arsenal of guitars. He doesn't. He has got about 3 guitars, and every pedal in the world he doesn't. He's got about 5 or 6 pedals that he's been using since the beginning, and one Marshall JCM 800 that he's been playing since the beginning. And he says that he matches his playing and his songwriting to what he has, as opposed to the other way around. So if he had different gear, his songs would have sounded differently. So the attempt is not to recreate perfectly a Sabbath sound or a Acid King sound or a Sleep sound. The aim is to get to a interpretation, your interpretation of those sounds, with the gear that you've got available, and have fun doing it, because it's all about the fun. I'm going to play you a little bit more, and then if you did enjoy this, please subscribe. If I do get some traction on this channel, I would love to do a whole bunch more on a lot of cheap gear, especially with the Telecaster. Probably the most undoomed guitar that there is, but I promise you there's some magic at work there. Until next week, enjoy.